As you know, we are a worldwide technology leader, so we're delivering end-to-end solutions to our customers, from consumers to companies from all sizes. And the biggest challenge that we have is finding good female talents. As you know, in the IT industry, average is around 13% female in the organization. In Dell Belgium, we're at 25%, but still, it's an issue to find good female talents. So what we are doing there, the first important thing is create an environment where people feel good, where people feel they belong, where they can be themselves, be authentic, and bring out the best of themselves. And this is for me one very big important to support diversity. But three other main elements for me are having the right policies in place, having the right governance to support that, and also make sure that your managers, top down, are leading by example. If I give you some examples about our policies, one of them is a very important one, is equal pay. Another one is give to your people the possibility to work from home or having flexible work hours. And another one that I was surprised, but is also giving a change in finding good female talents, is in your job descriptions, you're using words that appeal to women. So study shows that specific words appeal more to women than to men. Going to the second part, what we did there is the support, is the governance. We created there some employee resource groups that are focusing on diversity, specifically on age, gender, culture, and on making sure that you can bring value to the community. So those groups are based on employees that are doing that on a voluntary base, but what they are doing that by creating those groups, we're creating awareness on diversity and inclusion, but we also make sure that those people are actively involved and they also promote and learn about diversity, and by the end you create a better place to work for them. The last, not less important one is leading. Make sure that your managers are leading by example. So what we are doing there, we're monitoring and evaluating our managers in the evaluating process on how they act and how they translate all those elements about diversity and inclusion into their daily practice. And the last initiative that I would like to call out is MARC, Men Advocate Real Change, is make people and make our managers aware, conscious about the unconscious bias, so that we think in stereotyping. What we're saying here is that by doing that, make them conscious about it, we change the way they lead, so we change and we create a more collaborative, inclusive leadership style. So I learned already very quickly that diversity and having gender balance and creating an environment where people feel they belong is very important to be successful as an organization, as an individual and as a manager. So therefore I actively going to internal and external activities around diversity and inclusion. If I give you an example of an internal activity that we took, is we started up and we created the ERG group, so the Employee Resource Group around diversity and inclusion, WISE. So I was part of the startup that we did together with the EMEA leadership team. Some examples of externals, I started as well with the project Speed IT, because as you know we have difficulties to find female talent in our sector, so I started the program with three main focus points: attract young female talents to the ICT, motivate students to choose for ICT, but also to help and to mentor young female talents to speed up their career. By doing all those activities and being part in panels, in discussions, and being keynote on those specific topics, I received formally an award. So I received the ICT Woman of the Year 2014, that even brought me to the next level and gave me more possibilities to even talk to a broader audience and to have more media attention on those specific topics. A last external one that I did recently, so I became recently the president of the Wijze Vrouwen van Gent, that's part of the community of Ghent. And what we did there, we had a workshop with more than 250 attendees, specifically on having very interesting discussions on diversity and inclusion. And the last thing that I would like to say, because again I can talk hours about this, because I'm really passionate about this, is that I would like to be a role model for young girls. Specifically to show to young girls that it's possible to combine a career in the ICT or a career as a manager together with a family. For example, I have a son now of 3 years and 6 months old. And another thing that I would like to show to them, that it's also possible to become a managing director in a male-dominated environment. Diversity should be part of your top priorities of your organization. It's important that you create an environment where people feel they belong, where people can bring out the best of themselves, so create a great place to work for them. It's also important that you have those policies in place, that you have governance, but that you and your managers lead by example. Make sure that you create those diverse teams. By creating those diverse teams, you will have more innovation and be more creative, but you also have a more productive team that will result in better results and more employee and customer satisfaction. All those elements are vital in a very disruptive environment where we are living in today. Diversity, it's a business issue, so it's really more than only being compliant. It's not a compliant issue, and it's definitely more than a corporate social responsibility issue. So the more committed you are to diversity and inclusion, the more successful you and your organization will be.